insignificant and everything significant in devotional service. On one occasion, when Gadadhar heard that Nityananda had come to Puri, he invited him to come and take Totagopinath's prasad. Nityananda accepted his invitation and brought some fine rice from Bengal as an offering for Totagopinath. Gadadhar cooked the rice along with the leaves and vegetables from the Yamashva garden, and when he was offered the foodstuffs to the deity, Mahaprabhu also appeared there, giving him great pleasure. The three of them joyfully took prasad together. Chaitanya Bhagavat 3:10. When Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Vrindavan, Ramananda Roy and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya used all the means at their disposal to make him stay in Puri. This is one of my favorites too. On the third Chaturmash, after his departure from Navadvip, all the Bengal devotees came to Puri with their wives to see him. After the Gundicha temple cleansing and the Ratha Yatra, the devotees returned home. As they were leaving, the devotees from Kulina village asked Mahaprabhu to describe the characteristics of a devotee. Mahaprabhu then described the differences between a Vaishnava, a more Vaishnava, and a most advanced Vaishnava. When Mahaprabhu showed even more determination to go to Vrindavan, the devotees finally gave him permission to leave after Dashami. King Prataparudra gave a great deal of help to smooth his journey. When he crossed the Chitrapala River, Ramananda Roy, Madharaj Harichandana continued on in his company. Srila Gadadhar Pandit Goswami was unable to tolerate the idea of separation from the Lord and also wished to remain with him. But Mahaprabhu reminded him of his vow to remain in Jagannath Puri and forbade him to go to Vraj. Gadadhar said to him, Jagannath Puri is wherever you are. My vows to remain in Puri can go to hell. Mahaprabhu again told him not to abandon his service to Gopinath. Gadadhar answered, seeing your lotus feet is worth 1,000,000 services to Gopinath. And again, all these, wonderful pastimes and remembering all these things. We've heard them so many times, but just, remembering, um, the determination and the love of Godhead, and that really ultimately how our ultimate goal is this separation, because in this intense separation of Krishna is never being separated. It's again this achincha beta tattva, where there's this simultaneously one and different thing of, the pain and suffering that, ultimate separation comes, but that brings us so much closer, because it's the highest level of intensity of love and connection to someone. What to speak of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And why wouldn't you want to give up anything, no matter what, to be with, the Lord? When Mahaprabhu said, if you abandon your duties to Gopinath, you will be at fault, Gadadhar answered that he was willing to take that responsibility, but he would not disturb Mahaprabhu by following alongside him. So doing what Krishna wants, right? He would go alone to Bengal to see Sachimata. Other than Mahaprabhu's intimate associates, no one is able to understand the extent of Gadadhar Prabhu's devotion to Gauranga. Love on the path of spontaneous devotion is not easy to comprehend. Gadadhar was ready to abandon his vows, his service, everything for the sake of Mahaprabhu, which is the same mood as the gopis in Vrindavan. They don't care about their status. They don't care, about whatever attachments they have, but they're willing to do whatever it takes to be with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And for us, in this material world, that takes form of our relationship within the heart and in the mind through the chanting of the holy names. That's the avenue, that's the river that will carry us back home to Godhead. When they all arrived at Kathak, Mahaprabhu called Gadadhar and said, your decision to break your vows and leave your service has been made a reality. If you come with me, that will make you happy. But do you want your own happiness or mine? Question to ask ourselves. It will make me happy if your vows to remain in Puri and to serve Gopinath are broken. Unhappy, I'm so sorry, as I was reading that. If you want my happiness, return to Puri and take up your vows again. That is all I have to say. When he heard Mahaprabhu's words, Gadadhar fell to the ground in a faint. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya comforted him on Mahaprabhu's order and then accompanied him back to Puri. Due to her amiable simplicity, Krishna's wife Rumini was not always able to understand his joking words and would become frightened. Like her, Gadadhar was also unable to always understand Mahaprabhu's witticisms or his feigned indifference, all of which would disturb him. Srila Gadadhar Pandit Goswami was by nature simple and affectionate. On one occasion, Vallabha came to see Mahaprabhu, and the two were engaged in jocular conversation. When Mahaprabhu saw that Vallabha was proud of his scholarship, he became somewhat distant from him and started to find flaws in everything he said. Vallabha responded to Mahaprabhu's indifference by starting to visit Gadadhar and making a show of attachment to him. Mahaprabhu did not particularly care for Gadadhar's relationship with Vallabha and began to demonstrate a certain coolness towards him also. This behavior made Gadadhar fear that Mahaprabhu would ostracize him, and so he came and fell at his feet and started to cry. Mahaprabhu laughed and embraced Gadadhar. He said, "I wanted to agitate you, but you did not become agitated. You said nothing in anger." So again, this reminiscent mood of Rukmini, right? But patiently bore everything. Your mind was not disturbed by my tricks. By remaining fixed in your simple nature, you have purchased me. No one can describe the character of Gadadhar's ecstatic love. Thus, Mahaprabhu has been given the name Gadadhar Prananath, Gadadhar's life and soul. No one can describe the Lord's mercy toward Gadadhar. Thus, people sing their names together, Gadai Goranga, which is from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So again, just this. I mean, I just as I'm reading this, and what I'm appreciating about being able to give class and share is just this amazing loving mood and attachment at the heart, and how moving it is, um, you know, for at least me personally, and just imagining, like really going in and imagining this exchange taking place and these words taking place and being in that place, like taking, not that we are them, but we imagine ourselves there and having that conversation and having that feeling and having that separation, and so again incorporating this into our consciousness and our mood as we're stepping through our devotional life every day of trying to obtain that loving relationship with Krishna and wanting to get to that place of, yes, Krishna, what is it you want me to do? I'll do anything for you. Just tell me what it is, just so that I can have this association and, and loving exchanges with you. What do you want me to do? I'm willing to do anything. So trying to work towards that and have that level of love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so we can see that echoed, and that's why it's so important to hear these over and over and over again and open your ears. Don't close them thinking, oh, I've heard this 100 times before, but hear it, like you haven't ever heard it before, and keep your heart open to that, right? Sri Gadadhar Pandit remained on this earth only 11 months after Mahaprabhu's disappearance. In Bhakti Ratnakara, Narahari Chakravarti has described the terrible suffering of Gadadhar in Mahaprabhu's separation. He remained alive only in order to be able to see Srinivas Acharya. Repeating the name of Gaurasundara with his eyes closed, his sighs were as hot as flames. No one but the Lord can know how Gadadhar Pandit suffered in the absence of Gauranga. His motionless body remained alive, only so that he could bestow his mercy on Srinivas Acharya. And for us, that's, obviously we've heard so many times, we should be ready to leave and depart when our spiritual master leaves, unless we have the purpose of carrying on his mission. And as devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in this, amazing disciplic succession and family that Srila Prabhupada has given us in this International Society of Krishna Consciousness, that's all imbibed there of, there is a mission to carry forward. So we do whatever we can in whatever big or small way to carry on and share this movement so that other people can just feel that love, can feel that connection, can feel like they're home, and they don't have to search for something in this material world anymore, of being able to find that place, you know, where, I mean, you're at home. You don't have to go seeking it anywhere else, and you're so completely satisfied, you know, in the heart that you don't need anything material. And then you glow. I mean, there was the descriptions given of Prabhupada, and then I was reading. Oh, or was I listening to class? I can't remember. How Prabhupada glowed. But I was reading about the pastimes of somebody too. Um, and it's true that when the devotees, as we start to deepen and deepen our devotional life and we get more and more connected to Krishna, we emit a very spiritual mood, and people can see that, or sense that, at least, maybe not see it, but sense that, um, that something's different, that there's something there and it's so attractive. So we're these carriers of this love of God, within our own bodies. And I saw that when um, Lochan's daughter passed, I could understand that within her body, that I could see the material body there, and the soul had left, but I could also see that the body was that crossing over place, right? And so it was sacred because it held the soul of a devotee. And so it's that sacredness of a body touched by Krishna consciousness in association, of the devotees, is has this amazing effect that this what is that term for the connection, the passing down, a tirtha? Yes, it's like a holy, yeah, it's the holy, it's connection, place of transcending, to the spiritual world. And that's what I saw, in the body of a devotee, is that it's a tirtha, right? So yes, it's on one side, it's a material thing that we get to leave, but on the other side, because a devotee is there in the form of their soul, it's a tirtha. And so, we have this amazing opportunity, um, to deepen our Krishna consciousness and become a tirtha to other, you know, people wrapped up in this material world. We have the of utilizing our body, our mind, our soul, and our words, our movement, and everything that we do to be a tirtha, for crossing over ourselves, but then helping other people become Krishna conscious, and being able to see that we get to transcend this body, and that it's just this carrier for being able to carry us back to this very amazing and special place. So I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts or comments. We're probably really close, but
In regards to the point that you made about, you know, becoming non-judgmental,
yes,
you remind me of the verse 7:19. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me. That's Krishna speaking, of course, Bhagavad Gita. Knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is, such a great soul is very rare.
mm,
This is almost unthinkable that these things are happening. And those who have taken to the process of devotional service, whatever level,
yeah,
very rare,
yes.
very rare.
I mean, just thinking about these personalities, and they were actually here, and how rare it is that we actually get their association through hearing about their pastimes. Which for me was again the reminder of being able to try to carry it, their mood, into my own devotional life, into our own devotional life. You know, to really purify ourselves, but purify the whole existence here. Anyway, all glories to Srimad Bhagavatam, all glories to
Govinam Adi Purusham Purusham Aham Bhajamin Govindam Adi Purusham Aham Bhajamin Enam Kanvanda Maravindanalaya Tatam Bhagavatam Shamasitam Buddhasundaram Nandar Ako Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobha Govindam Adi Purusham Aham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Aham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Aham Bhajami Andani Yasta Sakalen Kriya Priti Manti Vasyan Vivan Vikayanti Jira Praganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Amaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Amaham Bhajami Adi Purusham Amaham Bhajami Govindam Mandala Gokula Taruni Mandala Maite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Damodara Rati Vardhana Veshe Hari Nishkutavin Daviti Neshe Damodara Rati Vardhana Veshe Hari Nishkutavin Daviti Neshe Radharati Vardhana Veshe Hari Nishkutavin Daviti Neshe Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jaya Vishabhanu Dadi Navashashi Leke Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Shake Dadi Vashashi Leke Lalita Saki Naramita Shake Vishabhanu Dadi Navashashi Leke Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishake Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jaya Karunam Kuru Mai Karuna Bhadite Sanaka Sanantana Panita Charite Karunam Kuru Mai Karuna Bhadite Sanaka Sanantana Panita Charite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo. Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Shirade. Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Shirade. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham. Shri Vishabhana Nandini Radharani Ki Jai, Gadadhar Pandit Ki Jai, Gadadhar Pandit Ki Jai, Gadadhar Pandit Ki Jai. Oh Radha, glories to you, glories unto you, beloved of Madhava, object of worship, all the young girls of Gokula. You dress yourself in such a way as to increase Lord Damodar's love and attachment for you. You of Vrindavan, the pleasure groves of Lord Hari. You are a new moon arisen from the ocean of King Vrishabhanu. You are the friend of Lalita, and your wonderful qualities, friendliness, kindness, and faithfulness to Krishna, endear you to Vishaka. You are an ocean of compassion, and your divine characteristics are described by the four Kumaras, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sananda, and Sanat Kumara. Oh Radha, please be merciful to me. Vishubhana Nandini ki jai, Gadara Pandit ki jai, Panchatattva ki jai. Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bo, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Namarjanam, Bhamaha, Nirnivapanam, Shaya Shaiva, Chanchika, Dharanam, Vijavadu Jivanam, Nandam Buddhi Vardhanam, Pratipadaam.
Swadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Nimata Smarane Nakala Etam Drishita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivam Idrishami Hajjani Nanuraga Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Suhishuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Vajagadishakamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavatad Bhaktir Oitaki Twai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhuvam Buddha Kripayata Vapada Pankaja Stita Duli Sadrashim Vachintaya Nayanam Galadashu Daraya Varanam Gadgada Radaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vapukada Tavanama Grahane Bhavishyati Yugayatam Namishena Chakshusha Pravashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahename Ashlishyavapadam Ratam Ranastumam Adarshanam Marmahata Karotuva Yata tatava venditolampato mat prananatas evanapara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I'm so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than a straw on the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causes of devotional service birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me brokenhearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Sri Shastika Ki Jai. And just a reminder that we'll be on campus today at UNC across the street from the Davis Library, that's Raleigh Street, from 11 to 1 for Harinam Sankirtan. So anyone who can come along and join us, that would be great. Hare Krishna.